Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. As you can see here, I'm not at home, which can only mean one thing: mods for the C8. There she is, guys. Like I said, I'm obviously not at home. I am at the Cars Guys lab. JT is the man. He let us spend the night here while we were waiting on this particular mod for the C8 Corvette. But just look at how destroyed this thing got on the trip up here. I mean, there's just bugs everywhere. This is exactly why you need some sort of protection for your car, because stuff like that, scrubbing these things off, it's just not going to make that black, carbon flash black paint look right. You definitely want to make sure that that stuff's protected, and whenever it makes the car look as gorgeous as this, why not? Like I said 100 times, Blackout Tinting really knows their stuff when it comes to detailing. They're the ones that put the XPEL Stealth on the C8 Corvette, and it looks absolutely fantastic. But anyway, guys, I digress. The reason we're here, you're gonna see very soon. But for now, let's jump in the C8 and head out to our destination. All right, guys, and just like that, we have arrived at our destination. It's something that's going to be pretty awesome for the C8. I guess I have to show you at this point because I can't keep it a secret any longer. So, as you can see there, we are at AWE. So this car is getting an exhaust just like my ZR1 did. I was so happy with the way the AWE sounded on my ZR1, I wanted to get it for the C8 as well. The C8 doesn't have a lot of exhaust options at this point because of how new it is. AWE is one of the best as far as I'm concerned. There is only a couple different options, and one of them right now that I know of, the only other one I know of, is Soul Performance. And I just freaking know that AWE is somehow going to beat the sound of that Soul Performance exhaust. The car is going to sound amazing, and we're going to try to film what we can. They're actually going to install it for me here. This isn't going to be a how-to video, but I am going to show you some before and after clips because the thing sounds really good stock. There's no doubt about it. I do not have any complaints with the exhaust other than the fact it's too quiet. So what AWE is going to do here is make it a little bit louder and give it that refined sound that the ZR1 has. So they are about to take the car back for the installation, but before they do, I'm going to give you some before shots of the exhaust and what it sounds like. That way we have something to reference whenever I get the new exhaust on and we can hear how that one sounds, because like I said, this thing is going to sound freaking amazing. I already know it. AWE knocks it out of the park with their sound of the exhaust. So let's jump into some before sounds right now. And as you heard there, guys, the stock exhaust is no slouch, but at the same time, everything can always be better. So we're gonna get the AWE put on right now. I'm gonna film some of the process. Like I said, it's not gonna be a how-to. I like to see cars with their bumpers off. So this car is going to have the whole rear bumper removed, I'm assuming, but regardless of how they do it, I want to show you guys because it's different. The engine's in the rear, so it's not quite the same experience as with the C7 Corvette. They're about to pull it in now, so let's go ahead and get on it. So guys, as you can see, he is removing a bunch of what are these, T15?
T15 torque.
T15 torque screws. They are going to remove the rear bumper. So to get easy access to the entire exhaust, which is fairly large under here, this bumper does come off. Now, I'm in here with the installation bay guys. They're doing the install. This is Kyle. Yep. He's actually an engineer?
Yes, that's correct.
He's an engineer. Because this car is so new, it's the engineers that are working on it. They do require these guys in here. So unfortunately, my voice is going to sound a little muffled, but I think you guys will get the point. So like I said, he's removing all these screws now. He told me there is about 1 million of them. So Yeah, I'm not gonna make you suffer through all of this. We're just gonna cut to the next part. We're gonna go ahead and pop off these plastic rock guards that the car comes with. It's gonna give access to a couple more bolts that also have to come off inside the wheel well here in order to get the bumper off. So we'll do this on both sides, or I should say Kyle's gonna do it because I'm just filming it. Yeah. So just like the C7, there's a couple clips that hold that in, and then you're gonna have, looks like 2 T15 screws back here. He's gonna go ahead and remove those, that way we can get that bumper off. So we got some T15 screws here he's gonna remove, and then some 7mm bolts up underneath here. Basically these all have to come off underneath the bumper as well to make sure this whole piece can come off. Again, I'm not gonna bore you with the details. He's turning a wrench. That's what he's gonna do about 10 more times down the line here until it's all the bolts are gone. Okay, so that piece comes off next. Literally ran right underneath the actual exhaust here. So this whole thing is gonna go away basically. The AWE setup is smaller. It also weighs less. I'll let you know exactly how much less here in a second. So like I said, he's the engineer here and they're still kind of perfecting the kit. Everything's set and ready to go, but the difference is there's no instructions for the installation on a C8 yet. So he's actually taken a bunch of pictures for their instructions on the actual AWE website. And if you bought the AWE kit from another website, you would see these install instructions. So that's how new this whole thing is. I know the C8 Corvette is in general pretty new, but nobody has really had their hands on one long enough to get any of this kind of stuff done. So one of the reasons I'm here is to allow them to kind of use the car to detail their instructions, as well as just make sure everything's good to go. And down she comes. So the next couple steps are going to be with the car lower on the ground because this bumper is going to be coming off. So when removing the panels, I noticed this. That does not look good. I'm pretty sure that is oil. We're gonna see here in a second what's going on. Once he gets that exhaust out, I'm gonna be able to see real clearly, but that does not bode well with me. Something's not right here. That car should not be leaking any kind of oil with only 500 miles on it. I'm not happy. Hopefully it's nothing major. Maybe it's something I hit on the road. I don't know, I hope so. So with the rear bumper, guys, we got 3 electrical connectors here. And then this is for the keyhole. So you got 3 altogether. It's kind of tight when you're removing that rear bumper. Those 3 have to be unplugged for it to come completely off, which is right here. Just sitting here, waiting for its new exhaust to be on so it can go back on the car. Just like with the C7, we have the actual bypass valve here that opens and closes for these 2 tips. That's not going to be reused, so you can just disconnect it, tape it off basically. This car is too quiet, so there's absolutely no need for it in my opinion. So that's what he's doing right now. He just took those off and it's ready to go. Now he's going to start removing this entire exhaust. These 2 rear exhaust hangers are next. They are 13mm bolts. He's dropping them now. So they're gonna try some sorcery to get this out without removing the rear trunk. So let's see what happens.
Never get to that one, that's nice and easy.
Oddly enough, the passenger side one is 13mm bolts, 3 of them, and then the driver's side was 2 or 3? 3 15.
No, I'm sorry, 3 13, 2 15.
Yeah, so 3 13mm, 2 15. Really kind of strange, but once you get those off with a long extension, the exhaust will kind of just hang because of the rear hangers there. That's what they're going to work with now, getting off. So as you see there, it's pretty much free. It's about to drop. There it is. Or there it is, guys. The exhaust is coming off. It's It's no longer going to be muted by this giant freaking exhaust or muffler. We're going to get something pretty nice on here in a second. Check that out.
All right, bye.
Should we run it? Open header? I don't think anybody would like that. It's way too loud in this shop. Almost done. And here it is, boys. That's the full AWE axle back touring edition. And yes, of course, I had to go with the diamond black tips, just like I did with the ZR1, because I mean, the car's gonna be red and black. You gotta stick with the black tips, of course. This thing's about to go on. I can't freaking wait for you guys to hear this thing. I can't wait to hear this thing. It's gonna sound freaking awesome. The AFM valves will be reused with the new exhaust in order to avoid check engine lights and all that nastiness. So he's gonna take these off. They are 7mm bolts on every one of the actual valves to use on the new exhaust with some simulators.
I have this little pin that's got to be popped out through here, and then the ball bearing comes out.
Gotcha.
Or you can take the Torx out, either or.
It doesn't really matter because all you need is the module.
Yeah,
right?
I'm actually gonna take the Torx now that I say that, because then it leaves the piece with it.
Yeah, there you go. He was talking about the AFM simulators. Ones for the cylinder deactivation get their own brackets up here. So the bracket itself actually says AWE on it. It looks real pretty, even though you'll never see it.
It's reusing OEM hardware with attached M6 on the AWE bracket, and then we supply a nut and bolt M6 for the outside to mount it to the transaxle. And like little touches, it looks like it's reversed, but if the valve wasn't on there and it's on the car, it's like orientated. Like, it's little things we thought about when we were building it.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. These things are so pretty, you're never gonna see them.
Absolutely.
So he has both AFM valves mounted. As you can see, they mount right up against the transmission with those AWE brackets. So what that's gonna do is prevent any kind of check engine light from coming on due to not actually having the AFM valves in the new axle back system. Right now he is putting on one of the, I guess, down pipes.
Yeah.
Technically, this is the downpipe for the passenger side. Then he's going to obviously work on this one to get the full exhaust installed here. And now the tiny little X pipe gets installed.
That's for sure.
It's the smallest X pipe I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though. I like this design. It already looks more exotic.
Oh yeah. This is unique for us, having the kind of ram style.
Yeah, that's really cool. It screams like Porsche or Ferrari, like, because they always do that kind of like mismatched pipes. It's a lot better than that thing. I mean, that looks like a casket. It looked like somebody mounted a casket under here. This looks cool. Now, granted, you're not going to see much of this, but
you can see a little through the screen.
Yeah, once the rear bumper's back on, there's going to be something pretty cool right here. You're going to be able to see through the mesh of the rear bumper. Now, as you guys know, I'm not exactly doing this because it looks cool from this point of view, but the black tips are pretty cool. It's gonna sound awesome is what I'm really going for. I honestly can't tell, like, whenever you're putting a part on like that, if it's a new one from you or if it was on the car already, because the car's so freaking new.
Rubber grommet, hanger mount.
Yeah.
Same on both sides, using OE.
Okay.
OE hardware, but then obviously pipes, exhaust clamps, stick sections, all that will be new.
Okay. The tips are on, guys. Nice and diamond black. Check that out. Those are gonna look so much better than the square stock exhaust tips. I don't know what GM was thinking with that one, but the bumper's about to go back on, and then they're gonna kind of play with the alignment, make sure the tips are all good. Oh yeah, that looks way better already. Definitely should have been round to begin with. I can't wait to hear this thing though. If it sounds half as good as it looks, it's gonna be freaking awesome. Sorry for the noise here, guys, but it is a manufacturing facility, so they're manufacturing. Got to get those wire harnesses plugged back in. That looks awesome. Heck yeah, guys, check that out. All you see through the mesh is the AWE logo. It's gonna look awesome. It's gonna sound awesome. Check this thing out. Absolutely amazing. I love it.
Oh yeah. More of this section is what it's protecting.
So it's up there for heat.
Yeah, we saw a lot of heat issues right in here off of the X pipe on the dyno testing. Which obviously dyno testing is put into the most extreme because there's no ambient air moving around it.
Right.
So, but I figure it's better play it safe. Sorry, you know.
Absolutely. It looks cool too. I love that.
Yeah, you can't complain about free brandy.
Right? This whole thing is just held on with screws in the back, guys. So literally the same screws that hold this mesh in are what holds in this entire, is that aluminum?
Yes.
Aluminum piece. And it basically, like I said, it protects from heat to make sure this bumper doesn't get too hot, but it also looks really cool. So it looks great. It's gonna sound great. We're about to take it out and test it for the first time.
So we use 1/2-inch nylon spacers to prevent any heat soak going from the aluminum heat shield into the plastic bumper.
Awesome, awesome. And guys, the last step is tip alignment. So from here forward, he is going to be aligning the tips on this car to make sure that they are perfectly straight. That way they look the best they possibly can. Hopefully you can hear me because it is really loud in here. All right guys, so the installation is done and I get to do the honors of remote starting this beast. We're gonna get to hear this thing, so here it comes. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. I did obviously get the full exhaust installed, and as you can hear, it's a little bit louder than stock. It's a little bit more refined than stock, and it looks freaking amazing. The black tips, the installation, the AWE logo, everything looks so supercar. I know the C8 really is basically a supercar at this point, but with an exhaust like that, the way it installed, I mean, my mind's blown. The thing sounds freaking amazing. It gives the C8 that extra little bump that it needed to really solidify itself as a sports car, something that sounds fast, looks fast. I mean, if you can hear this, it sounds good. And I mean, the stock sounded pretty decent. This takes it to another level, just like it did with my ZR1. The stock exhaust on the ZR1 was great. The AWE takes it to the next level. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. If you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about the AWE exhaust or the installation or AWE in general, shoot them in the comment section down below or shoot me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you get anything you may have answered. I want to give a big thumbs up to AWE for helping me out here. The exhaust is amazing. You guys make it a fantastic quality product, and I can't say enough good things about it. I appreciate the great experience. Jesse is the man there. Honestly, they're all awesome people. I enjoyed talking to everybody I got to meet today. Thanks to Kyle for all of his hard work on the installation part of it, and thanks to Dave for spending the day with us. He was very hospitable. Always a great experience going to AWE. But if you guys haven't subscribed to Horsepower Obsessed, please do so now. I have loads of C8 and C7 Corvette content coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next upload.